Okay, we'll continue our focus on the issues of politics. This time we're going to Adamawa State, and we have a member of the People's Democratic Party in the state, Musa Kamale, join us to discuss the politics in the state after the primaries that were held in Abuja. Mr. Kamale, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
You've just held your governorship primaries and in Abuja. How would you describe the outcome?
Well, as far as we are concerned in Adamawa State, no primary elections took place up till this moment I'm talking to you. Remember the conditions that are laid down in all the three guiding documents: the party constitution, the party primaries guideline, and the Electoral Act 2010 as amended. They all go to show one thing: you cannot conduct a primary election for any position, whether governorship, House of Assembly, Senate, or House of Reps, unless you conduct it in the headquarters, in the constituency headquarters for the senatorial district or House of Reps, and in the state capital for the governorship. Look, Article 26 of the PDP guidelines clearly stipulates that one. No doubt about it. As for the Electoral Act, Section 87, subsections 1, 3, 4, 7, and 9 are very, very clear and categorical about the conduct of primary elections for whatever elective position to take place in that constituency. So if you claim primary elections for the governorship of Adamawa State was conducted in Abuja, as far as we are concerned, no primary elections took place. Secondly, what was the mode of the so-called primaries that took place in Abuja? I am a 3 ad hoc delegate from Sina Kamali ward of Michika local government. Not only that, I am the spokesman, the spokesperson for the 678 ad hoc delegates of Adamawa State. None of the authentic 3 delegates, that is the 678, went to Abuja for the so-called primaries. None, quote me, none. People were just picked from the APC, street hawkers, what have you, airlifted to Abuja.
I don't understand. People from other parties were picked to go for your own primaries?
Believe me, I have on record APC members who were picked up at Yola Airport in Yola by Max Air, who were airlifted to Abuja to participate in the so-called kangaroo primaries. And apart from that, okay, Max Air is a 747 jumbo jet. It took 500 delegates in court to Abuja, and 900 people are supposed to participate in that primary. Now, what of the balance of 400? The balance of 400, I can as well tell you, were taken from Nyanya, Kubwa, Gwagwalada. Anybody on the street who wanted 5,000 naira was taken to the venue of the so-called Congress. How could those people have elected or nominated a candidate for the People's Democratic Party of Adamawa State?
The question will be, what exactly was the decision of the part of the executive of the party's ESCO in Adamawa State? Were they also privy to the decision? Because it didn't just happen overnight. It was announced by the PDP at the national level that they were going to be moving the primaries to Abuja. And, you know, we did see some people visit the secretary, to the party, I believe, the national headquarters, thanking them for that decision to hold the party primaries in Abuja.
You are quite correct. Let me start stating the obvious things first. This thing started, that is the genesis of this imposition idea, started with the Murtala Nyako saga in 2006 under the then President Obasanjo administration. The powers that be, without any recourse to any guideline, felt because of the failure of past administrations in the state, they wanted a particular person to be the governor of Adamawa State. Then the burden fell on the shoulders of Vice Admiral Murtala Nyako, who by whatever standard is an elder statesman, a seasoned naval officer, was a military governor 30 years or so ago. You don't expect such person of very valuable credential to fail. But because of the manner Murtala Nyako was brought to govern Adamawa State, what is the end result? Bad governance, misrule, family and friends administration, finally impeachment. Now, having gone through that saga of misrule and bad governance, do you just wait? If you say, why didn't people resist? They resisted. There were 10 other Giba aspirants when Murtala Nyako was imposed on the people of Adamawa State. I was the state publicity secretary of PDP at that material point in time, and I knew all these things that happened. I protested with 15 other members of the state executive committee up to the national level, up to the office of the then president, but to no avail. So, having experienced that, this is why we are now saying no to another imposition.
But when the decision was made to move the primaries to Abuja, that's the question my colleague asked. Your colleagues went to visit to say thank you for that decision.
No. I'm just coming to that. Okay. On the 20th, 29th, up to the of October, up to 1st of November, that is the beginning of the present problem in Adamawa. Senator Bala Adamu led 4 other party officials from the national body. They came to Adamawa State and wanted to conduct 3 ad hoc delegates congress in order to select the people who are going to participate in the primaries. As at that time, 7 local government areas in Adamawa State were controlled by the Boko Haram. Madagali, Michika, Mubi North, Mubi South, Maiha, Hong, and Gombe local governments were under total control of Boko Haram. Nobody could go there. If soldiers were running away, who are you without arms to go there? So people sat down, all those who matter in PDP in Adamawa State, including some of those people that you said went to the National Working Committee to say thank you for moving the primaries to Abuja. Now, what happened? All the gubernatorial aspirants, all members of Adamawa State House of Assembly, all elders, party elders, all members of the State Executive Committee of the party, everybody who mattered met with that committee, the Congress Committee from Abuja. And inevitably they came to the conclusion that it was impossible, practically or otherwise, to go to those 7 local governments and conduct any form of Congress. So what was the solution? You see, Adamawa is made up of 21 local governments. 7 were under the control of Boko Haram, which means inevitably 1/3 of the state was under Boko Haram, and it was a no-go area. So they resolved amongst themselves that because of the the perilous situation of security in those areas, they decided and resolved and agreed upon that the existing delegates which were used before be adopted as the list of the new delegates. That was how they agreed on the existing delegates to continue instead of conducting something that is not going to be possible. Now, along the way, the Senator Bala Adamu committee, when taking the list, the agreed list, the authentic list to Abuja, doctored that list. Out of 678 names, they doctored and removed over 300 names. Are you getting my point? In favor of a particular aspirant, and that aspirant was at the resolution meeting in Adamawa State. So that thing became a puzzle to almost all of us. What happened when Senator Bala Adamu went to submit the list of the Congress to the National Working Committee? The State Executive Committee went to the National Working Committee and complained that that was not the list, that was not the authentic list agreed upon by all the stakeholders of Adamawa State.
The question now will be, why is it that you did not hold your own primaries? If you did not believe that primaries were being held, or you did not regard the primaries being held in Abuja,
right,
why didn't you hold your own primaries in Adamawa, in Yola, where you believed should have been the venue of the primaries?
Because of just one thing. We needed people from Abuja, from the national body, to come down to Yola and supervise the conduct of that primaries.
And they could not come?
They didn't come.
They could not, or they didn't come?
They didn't come.
For what reason?
I was in touch with the chairman of that committee, Senator Rufai Hanga. And
okay, Mr.
he
Commander,
didn't come.
If I may
So could we have just gone ahead to supervise an election which we were actual participants?
Mr. Kamali, we have joining us over the phone a colleague of yours from Adamawa as well. He's a legal advisor of the People's Democratic Party in Adamawa, Mr. Sam Zadok. Mr. Zadok, if you can hear us. Mr. Kamali says the actions that you have done or that have been carried out by your party in the state are contravening the party's primaries guidelines and the constitution of the party. What's your take on that?
Yeah. I want to first of all commend my brother, Honorable Musa Kamale, and I want to support all the points he raised in his argument. Let me state that I'm the legal advisor of the party. Whatever that happened from the beginning to where we are today, I was deeply involved and I'm still involved. I want to let you know that all that is happening in Adamawa State is an agenda that is being played to impose a new ribado on the people of Adamawa State. It is quite very unfortunate that the leader of the party in Nigeria, who is President Goodluck Jonathan, is watching this thing. She couldn't take an action on it. And I want to state before I continue that the people of Adamawa State are very angry with the attitude of the president of this country, who is the leader of PDP, on Adamawa matter. We have presented our case before him. Our elders have gone before him to present all that Musa Kamale is mentioning. We thought as the leader of the party, the president would stand for the truth.
Mr. Zadok, if I may come in here.
Mr. President,
Mr.
respect you, Mr. President.
Mr. Zadok, if I may come in here, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
I'm afraid we'll have to take a very quick break. We'll come back and continue the conversation, please. We'll take a break and we'll be back shortly.